A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark, chapter 5, verses 1 to 20. Passage taken from the Message version of the Bible. They arrived on the other side of the sea in the country of the Gerasenes. As Jesus got out of the boat, a madman from the cemetery came up to him. He lived there among the tombs and graves. No one could restrain him. He couldn't be chained, couldn't be tied down. He had been tied up many times with chains and ropes, but he broke the chains, snapped the ropes. No one was strong enough to tame him. Night and day he roamed through the graves and the hills, screaming out and slashing himself with sharp stones. When he saw Jesus a long way off, he ran and bowed in worship before him. Then bellowed in protest, "What business do you have, Jesus, Son of High God, messing with me? I swear to God, don't give me a hard time." Jesus had just commanded the tormenting evil spirit, "Get out of the man." Jesus asked him, "Tell me your name." He replied, "My name is Mob. I am a rioting mob." Then he desperately begged Jesus not to banish them from the country. A large herd of pigs was browsing and rooting on a nearby hill. The demons begged him, "Send us to the pigs so we can live in them." Jesus gave the order, but it was even worse for the pigs than for the man. Crazed, they stampeded over the cliff into the sea and drowned. Those tending the pigs, scared to death, bolted and told their story in town and country. Everyone wanted to see what had happened. They came up to Jesus and saw the madman sitting there wearing decent clothes and making sense, no longer a walking madhouse of a man. Those who had seen it told the others what had happened to the demon-possessed man and the pigs. At first they were in awe, and then they were upset over the drowned pigs. They demanded that Jesus leave and not come back. As Jesus was getting into the boat, the demon-delivered man begged to go along, but he wouldn't let him. Jesus said, "Go home to your own people. Tell them your story, what the Master did, how he had mercy on you." The man went back and began to preach in the 10 towns area about what Jesus had done for him. He was the talk of the town. The Gospel of the Lord. Reflections on the Gospel according to Mark chapter 5, verses 1 to 20. A herd of about 2,000 swine could not stand the number of evil spirits that had possessed one man of the territory of Gerasenes. When Jesus drove out the legion from this possessed man, they got into the herd of swine, but the swine opted to die than to be possessed by the legion. The herd of swine preferred death to a life of being possessed. A person living in sin is under the possession of evil forces, and he or she is not even aware of how bad his condition is. But Jesus takes the initiative to come in search of this person to set him free. The only thing Jesus could do in this region was to heal the demoniac from the legion, and then he was forced to leave their shores. It appeared as if his only purpose of crossing over the sea was to save this man from the demons. Do we not see here the image of a shepherd who goes in search of his one lost sheep, and once he finds it, he returns home? After the ascension of Jesus, the disciples traveled to far-off places, bringing the message of Jesus, fighting the forces of evil. The reaction of the townsfolk in today's gospel represents the reaction of people to the message of Jesus. People were furious at their financial loss and cared little about the healing of the possessed man. Even today, for a lot of people, even among our Catholic friends, it is difficult to choose between financial gains or personal benefits and matters of faith. How often do we make excuses for failing to take care of our spiritual life because we have something more important to do? We are not any different from the people of Gerasenes. Saving one lost sheep was good enough for the continuation of the mission. The man who got cured went around the whole regions of the 10 cities, the Decapolis, and proclaimed what Jesus had done for him. God has His own ways of reaching His people because, after all, it is His mission. If you feel God is calling you for His mission, do not look for excuses. Do not be disheartened when faced with absence of response or rejection from the people. Efficacy of the mission is not measured according to quantity. Go in search of the lost sheep, even if only one was lost. There are hundreds of sick people or homeless people around us. Let us show our attention to at least one of them.